Hello, the internet. It's been a while. That was a bit creepy. Sorry about that. Welcome to another live edition of the Ghostlight Social, the show where we get people together, creative people together. We have a bit of a chinwag. We raise our hopes and we dash our fears. I've got a new app. I'm debuting it. There you go.
What is it?
E.T.
I can't see it. Oh, it's because I haven't got the same view as when you're on thingy. Oh, good.
Yeah. It's like a limited run of E.T. trucker hats. Like there's ever going to be a need for them. But I was like, yeah, I'm having that. So,
all right. Fair enough.
How are you?
I'm all right, Mike. How are you?
I'm all right, Tar. I'm just going to change. I'm just going to mirror. There we go. It looks like I'm looking at you now.
Okay. Do I look that way?
Yeah.
Okay. It has been a while, mate. It's been a little bit of a while.
Yeah.
So tell us very briefly. You've got 30 seconds or so. What have you been up to?
I'll tell you. There's two things. So we were just talking before we went live. I've finally delved into the West Wing. Never watched it before, and on was the last episode or the episode before we were talking about Aaron Sorkin and how I've been converted into a little bit of a fanboy of his. So I thought I'm going to delve into the West Wing. Found it on Channel 4's thing. Obsessed, mate. Obsessed. It's amazing. It's absolutely there's one bit in the first season. His Martin Sheen's secretary, the lady, and like in one episode, there's a throwaway line about both her sons being killed in action in Vietnam, and then 4 episodes later they pay that off when Toby gets that Korean homeless veteran a funeral, and she goes along because it's like her being able to bury her sons because they were killed and buried in Vietnam. And I was like, that's so good. That's such good writing. So that and then today I've had a very lovely afternoon spending it with the BFI. They've been doing some more because their funding window's open, so they're going out and meeting loads of people as much as you can do in lockdown. So I've been on a couple of webinars and a couple of roundtables today, which has been lovely.
Good. I noticed that on Twitter. What have you learned?
I've learned that there are lots and lots and lots of people in and around, especially around kind of Leeds Bradford, who are all wanting their fingers in that pot of money.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of I'd better stop pretending and start actually doing shit.
Yep. Well, we have the means. We just need the will.
All the talent.
Talent. Well, there is that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What have I been up to? Not a lot, really. I've been working hard, Michael.
Genuinely, you have. I've not heard from you in like a month, apart from the occasional kind of, oh, what's this? Look at this camera kind of thing, which isn't normal.
No. I've been working hard, and that's about it, really. I haven't got anything else to say. I've been tested a few times. I still haven't got it. I still haven't had it.
My wife has done the antibody test today. Had to like prick a finger and have 400 mils in this little bottle thing. Like proper
400 mils.
Well, whatever it was. It was 400 on bottle.
Bloody hell, that's a lot of what they're doing with it.
I don't know, but there was a lot of blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay. All right.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Fair enough. Have you not got the result of that?
No, she's just posted it off today.
Oh, because the ones that I were doing were instant.
Yeah, they're the ones that they're like the diabetes test where you do them on the
similar thing.
Whereas this is going to a lab.
All right. Fair enough. Right. Okay. Shall we get our guests in?
Yeah. Quick hello, Claire's in the chat. Hello, Claire. You remember her from a few weeks ago.
Hello, Claire. Nice of you to drop in and join us.
Yeah.
Let's get our guests in. We're very, very fortunate to have with us. And to be fair, I have been trying to get Helen or Peter on for quite a while, but I bet Peter didn't tell Helen. But we're very lucky to have. Can I still say actor? Are we still acting, Helen?
I'd like to say you can loosely say actor. I don't know. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because I don't think I've ever not been, but you kind of stop doing it. But one day I hope to kind of go back in that direction. So yeah, creating lots of other sort of stuff, but yeah, definitely was an actor at heart, and I've been doing a few bits for an act though, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
I
Indeed.
did a few bits during lockdown for an act, so yeah, I dusted the acting ability off there, and yeah,
I
I
wasn't
was still as
sure.
average.
I wasn't. Oh, that's not true. I wasn't. That's not true. I wasn't sure whether that was done under duress or not. I sort of got the impression it sort of was done under duress.
Yeah, but it's weird, isn't it? You know, with this kind of everything up in the air, 2020, anything goes kind of thing. If it had been the year before and Peter said, "Would you?" I'd say no, I don't want. I'm too busy with this. But it's kind of go, yeah, I'll do that. And all my kids have come home and everything's packed in boxes because we were due to move 2 days after lockdown, and there are no beds for any of them to sleep in, and everything. So, and yeah, of course I'll learn this monologue to do. Of course, that's exactly what I need to be doing now. So it was just like, yeah, you couldn't say no. And I think the good thing for me that's come out of lockdown, even though you haven't asked me yet, Lee, but I'm going to tell you, is I think I'm saying yes to an awful lot more stuff, and good has come of it.
Good. Because we haven't even started talking about your
I know
your books or and everything else. And unfortunately, that's all we've got time for.
Oh, okay.
So,
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.
It is. Yeah, we will definitely get on to talking about the books and things like that. But I suppose because he's looking a little. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what that expression is. It's sort of. It's confused. It's sort of. We need to get Tam in, don't we? I'm not.
Pissed, is the expression word you're looking for. No,
yeah.
No, that's a lie.
Drunk.
No, but I have got a very nice, well-bodied, full-bodied. No, I am pissed. I can't speak. A well-bodied, no, a full-bodied red, in this glass, which I'm really enjoying.
Okay, good. Well, how are things with you, Tam Ryan?
Oh, really good, thanks. Yeah, I'm enjoying life. Yeah, good, mate. Is that all you want from me?
Yeah, that'll do.
Are you on a roller coaster?
Yeah.
I feel a bit sick watching you, Tam.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was I didn't know if you were that pissed that the room was spinning and we could all see it. You were that drunk.
No, do you know what? Do you know what it is? It's when I talk on any phone, I get very pacey and I get a bit twitchy. So I'm going to have to train myself and I'm holding the iPad here, and then I'm having to sort of multitask with bringing the wine in occasionally. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot to confuse me in a multitask situation, but I'm going to try and train myself. Okay,
so look, quick question then first, Tam. How is Lockdown 2 compared to Lockdown 1?
I've enjoyed both of them actually. I've quite enjoyed them, only because I think, and it's probably going to sound a bit cliche, but because you've all got kids, haven't you? I've got a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old. And you just end up like a taxi service, don't you? And then life kind of passes you by a little bit. So in the lockdown, I've stopped, being that guy who cooks dinner at this hour and takes Barney to guitar and Eloise to dancing, and we sort of step back from it.
A father. You've stopped being a father. Yeah.
I've stopped being I've totally rejected fatherhood.
Right.
And I've embraced full-bodied red. That's been the trade-off. So that's what lockdown's meant to me, and I've furthered that obsession in Lockdown 2, but it's pretty much, like the sequels are a lot crapper than the originals. That's how I feel about Lockdown 2. It's a bit of an apology of a lockdown so far, isn't it? Just because I don't think. And it's not really a lockdown, is it? I know this is not really the government advice that we want to be promoting, but I'm following the guidelines a bit, but with less relish.
You're following the guidelines a bit.
Yes. Well, I'm not going around licking people,
Okay.
I'm not.
Which is something you did regularly outside of lockdown.
Oh, mate, January to March, I was a rampant licker.
Yeah.
But I quelled that behaviour. And so that's one thing that I've learned.
Oh, good.
I'm less licky.
You've just described like the antagonist of whatever Mindhunter season 3 should be. Like the Boston Licker.
That's a good character.
Yeah.
I was going to watch The West Wing, but I'm not anymore after Mike basically just killed the whole series for me.
Yeah. Just told you the through storyline of the first 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's done now. So
There's like 172 more.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is something that's been on the kind of mental list to watch. But
Well,
I haven't done it yet.
I was going to say you've got plenty of time now, but perhaps you haven't. But we'll come back to that in a moment.
Okay, mate.
Helen, how is it in your household? Lockdown 2 compared to lockdown 1?
Yeah, exactly the same. I say as Tam. It is that thing of
Licking.
not licking as much and missing it. So that's number one. But exactly, it's a bit like, I think lockdown is. You won't know this, boys, but when you've been on a diet for the very first time, you're amazing at it. You're just like the best at it, aren't you? You just everything, calorie, this, that, the other. But then the second time around, you can't do it as well. And I feel like the nation's a bit like that. I feel like there's a lot of people thinking, oh, well, I didn't get it the first time, so I'm not going to get it, I won't get it this time, and I'll just risk that, and that's just my neighbour, and they haven't got it, so they can come in, and everything just feels a bit like that. So for us, personally, there's just a lot of work going on. Peter is upstairs working, and then I'm downstairs working, and then we swap over to look after dogs, and it hasn't really changed an awful lot, to be absolutely honest, but I am missing now people. Just people popping in. I'm really missing hugging friends and seeing people and being able to go, shall we meet up? Shall we do this? Shall we do that? And I can't wait for that bit again. But other than that, very, very busy. Never been busier, and just working from the minute kind of get up to the minute we go to bed. But it's good. It's all good stuff. Like you, Lee, you are creative and you make the work happen, and and the same with you, Tam, and Mike. I've only just met you, but I'm going to say the same with you as well. But it's
probably less so.
Probably less so then. Take it away from you. But I think when you kind of are used to being busy, it's very difficult to then go, oh, I can't just stop, and you have to just keep going. And I think that's what we've done, really.
You say about missing people, but you have moved 40 miles away and not told anybody where your new house is. So, how do you expect people to find you?
Yeah. No, there is that. And you do have a point, and I will address that at some stage in my life.
You have just got a dog, though.
Oh, we've got Floss, the border collie, who's 8, and 3 weeks ago we got a Whippet puppy, which... Wow. I know everybody is getting dogs and puppies, but we were planning on doing that when we moved to this house. We were planning on getting a second dog.
Oh, yeah, I thought of it before you did.
Yeah, whatever. So we did, and it's great. She's not here, actually. She's in the front room with Peter, but it's lovely, actually. So that's it's all busy, and it's all great. And I've started writing my third children's book. So that's in the off as well.
That was an excellent segue into the book.
Thank you.
So just tell us about the books. Okay,
the books. I wrote a book called Let's Talk to Mummy's Tummy back in 2018. Had the idea 20 years ago, and it took me that long to kind of get it down on paper. But I wrote the book. I sent it off to a couple of publishers, and a publisher came back and said, yes, they loved it, which was fantastic. Then they went on maternity leave, and the person that replaced them didn't take my book forward. So I kind of just sulked for a few months, and then thought, well, I'm just going to do it myself then. So I've embodied myself in the world of self-publishing and how to do that, and listened to every podcast going. And found an illustrator, which took months and months, and just did the whole thing. So it took about 18 months from start to finish, from writing it every single day to then the illustrator to publishing it and then the marketing and all of that. But it's now kind of out there and doing really well. And so from that, I did Let's Talk About Your New Baby Brother and Sister as well. So now they sell as a nice little package. So it's not just one book on its own. So it's good.
And the book is aimed. Who's the book aimed at?
The book is aimed at. See, I like this, Lee, because you're pretending you don't know. It's very good. It's very good because you've done all my promos, so you do know everything about it. It's funny.
Don't know what you're talking about.
I know you don't. Okay, I'll tell you, Lee. I'll tell you what it's about. It's aimed at toddlers, so anybody that's expecting with little ones already. It counts down the weeks of pregnancy from 12 to 40, and it has topics on each page, kind of where will baby sleep, or how will the baby feed, or all these kind of things that a toddler might be kind of thinking about. And then on the other page is the actual baby growing week by week. And the baby talks directly to the sibling that's having the book read to them. So it's a book that isn't out there. And even when I was having my kids, there wasn't that book out there. And each time I looked for it and it wasn't there. So I thought, well, I'm just going to have to write this myself then. So it's that really. And because there isn't anything else out there like it, thankfully, with the world of Facebook and Instagram, I'm now getting that word of mouth through, which is people telling other people and orders coming through organically, which, I didn't think was ever going to happen, but is doing now.
It is astounding when you think about it that book has never been written.
I know.
It's amazing,
isn't it? In no other country. So I've translated it to Spanish and French and Latino Spanish and a States version as well. And in none of those countries does this book exist in any way, shape or form. And it is one of those things that you go, well, this is a really, I think, obvious concept, because people have babies, then they have another baby, and all those books, all of those books are written for just the parents, but never for the child. So yeah, there was a moment where I just thought, if I don't write this, I am going to see it one day on a shelf, and I really am going to kick myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is one of those moments where you sort of have an idea for something. And you go, somebody must have done that, and usually they have.
Yeah. Without a doubt. Incredible. Without a doubt. Yeah. Without a doubt. And it just. Yeah, so I'm really, really, really blessed that no one else did get there before me, because I did take ages to actually get it down on paper.
It's a lovely book, and the illustrations are fabulous.
Thank you.
Fabulous as well,
Thank you. And the book trailers were amazing.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Mm-hmm. Tam, so tell us about your book. What book?
But you know what? It's a great. I can't believe that hasn't been invented either. That's ridiculous.
I know.
I wasted a lot of money trying to patent something that 40 other people had done once.
What was that?
What was it?
Basically, it's a vocal warm-up device, because it's quite a dull story, but you basically can open up your throat with a straw blowing into some water in a bottle. So, and it's a
that?
Well, yeah, I tried to patent it, but I tried to patent it, Helen.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Like a bottle of water with a straw in?
Because they exist. They definitely exist.
Well, I've seen that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you see, this is why I didn't get further. If I'd have talked to you people before, then perhaps I wouldn't have spent 1,500 quid on it. But
no, you didn't.
You did not.
I did. No, I did, because listen, right?
Oh God.
No, I got advice. Yeah, but you're reducing this to a mere drink. Now, it's not. I'm very much aware the drink has been invented.
And the straw.
And the straw. Yeah.
And the straw. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
But together, Kiora have cornered that market as well. So that's all been done.
Oh,
I was
Mike,
aware
stop
of that.
him, please.
No, but the what hadn't been invented, or what I thought, and I did get advised on it, was that was the attachment that there was a straw attached to the bottle top, which was universal, which could be attached to any bottle and branded,
right.
and therefore, I had a brand name and everything. I was going to call
it. What was your brand name?
Dr. Vox. Clever, because it's Doctor and it's vocal, Vox. Yeah,
and sort of like Dr. Fox.
Yeah, and also because it was at the time where Dr. Fox was very much in the press for the right reasons. So it was but as I said, it was doomed to failure in the end. So well done. I also had another idea about storage pants, but that didn't get. But I haven't tried to patent that yet. But you
As
never
in
know.
storing your pants?
No, pants, but with some kind of Tupperware attachment inside the pants. So for people who want to save a bit of their dinner for later, for example, or it could also double up as refuse, as a dustbin for people who don't like their dinner. So that's the children market as well. So
hang on.
I don't get this one.
I'm interested. I'm interested in this. I'm interested.
What storage pants?
Storage pants. So hang on. Are we talking pants in the English sense or in the American sense?
No. I'm going for the American market, Lee. I'm not an idiot.
Where do you live?
Just outside Blackpool.
Right.
Blackpool, Massachusetts.
The north. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, look, but my boy Barney, right, 6 years old, eats like a sparrow, terrible appetite. But what he'll do, he'll try to, and he has tried to sort of scrape the peas or the vegetable or the green element on his plate away when I'm not looking, as if to convince me, the little bastard, that he's eaten them. So that
and
inspires.
Does he pour them into his pants?
Well, this is what. Well, not yet, Lee.
Right.
Because they haven't been invented. But with storage pants, he'd have the facility to. I haven't quite, it's not got past the design stage.
Now you're saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, I think it's good to get a general kind of consensus on whether
so
this is a goer.
So far, I'm out.
Okay.
I'm undecided, Tam. I'm
Well, Lee, you're my Duncan Bannatyne here, mate. I can sway you. I'm looking for, basically, Lee, I don't know what your financial setup is, but I'm looking for £50,000 for a 7.5% share of the business.
Yeah. For how much?
7.5% share of the business. It is negotiable.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, anyway, look, we don't have to spend all this hour talking about the merits of storage pants.
See, my granny had, this is years and years ago, I was very young, but she had Alzheimer's, and she used to carry a handbag, a bit like the Queen, with her everywhere she went, everywhere. And when she'd sit down for her dinner, she would literally open up the handbag, and we'd watch her as kids every single evening, pissing ourselves, because then she would take all the food and just scrape it all, gravy and all, into the handbag, pierce it up, because it was one of those clippy things, clip it up, put it on her arm, and then go, thank you very much, and leave like the Queen. And or us as kids.
And you're telling me there's no market for storage pants?
I'm just wondering whether it could just be a handbag. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's bring it into 2020.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Perfect.
I think the phone's going to be ringing on that one though, Tam.
Well. Yeah. You never know. This time next year, Rodders.
Yeah.
You don't know. I've got an inkling, but you don't know. So Tam, give us while I'm with you. Give us a song for our isolation playlist.
Right. I tell you what it is, Lee. It's because it was a very interpretable question. I've taken it that this is effectively my desert island disc. Is that right?
Yeah. It can be.
Go it up a bit, Tam, but go on.
It can be. I mean, don't get ahead of yourself. But, yeah.
Well, using that rationale, I'm taking anything from 1996, because obviously we're all of around the same age, I'm guessing. We don't have to be specific. But I think it's indisputable that 1996 is the greatest ever year. So,
great year.
So therefore, it's going to be something from Moseley Shoals by Ocean Colour Scene, and I'm going to go with The Day We Caught the Train.
I mean, that's a belter. I would say 97 was a better year, but that outrageous. Is a cracker.
Can I have a line or two of that, Tam, please?
What?
Can I have a line? Can I have a little burst?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, if you want.
And there we go, straight back to the 90s. Hey!
It's a great link to 96. I was almost there again. Do you want a line from The Day We Caught the Train? I never saw it as a start. That one.
Yeah.
We had to change your heart. I don't know why I'm putting that voice on.
It's almost like, I don't know.
It was it was a crossbreed sort of Bruce Springsteen thing going on. I don't know what happened to
It's
me.
almost Sesame Street.
By the way,
love that.
you're missing a trick there as well.
Yeah.
Go on.
The Day We Caught the Strain.
Mate, if only I'd have made that. If only I'd have put a bit of. Yeah.
Lee, that's
Have
why
that.
you're here.
You can have that.
Back
You
pocket.
see that it works as a pun and is still a great song. So that's a great idea. Yeah. I
We
would
could
have also
edit this
taken
bit.
a
You could
Tommy.
edit it. Go back and you could say it.
All right.
Yeah,
Can we
yeah.
do that?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not that bothered because I mean, if the storage pants stuff is going on already, I think people have already lost a lot of respect for me.
Okay, you can have that one. Day We Caught the Train. Nice. Helen?
Oh, mine's really, really cheesy. Really cheesy. And it's only because during lockdown, we watched from the first series right until the end, Glee. Because we just wanted a bit of escapism, and it was silly and just daft and cheesy and fun. So mine's Don't Stop Believing. Because there is a little bit of that as well. Don't Stop Believing. You know?
Journey. It's a journey. We're all on a journey.
Exactly.
We're all on a journey.
Exactly.
Belter.
Excellent. Good. Yes, you can have that. I like
Thank
a bit
you.
of Glee, I have to say. We watched Anna and the Apocalypse the other day. I don't know whether anybody's seen that. And it's billed as it's a British film made, I think, released in 2017, I think. But I'll tell you what, the references to a strain of flu, which has caused a zombie apocalypse, is pretty incredible. And there's a couple of times where they're saying, make sure you sanitize your hands. And you're thinking, crikey, O'Reilly. Somebody knew something was coming. But it is billed as a cross between High School Musical and Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
Ah, good combo.
Yeah.
And it's a bit shit, but it's shit enough to be decent.
I quite like watching a bit of shit at the moment. I'm not really good. I haven't got the resilience to watch anything deep and meaningful. And I will get back to that one day, I hope. But I love a bit of escapism. Schitt's Creek. Is anybody watching
Schitt's Creek is good. Like that.
I've heard loads of people have told me to watch it. Sorry, I'm just moving rooms now. Is that all right, everyone? Well, it has to be all right. That's what I've done.
We can't stop you.
Yeah.
You know, you can't stop me.
Don't stop me.
Right.
Yeah.
I've moved rooms just to show you my storage pants. Now, this is the original. Not really. It's not a pitch for storage pants. Just gone into my drawer, that's all. No, because do you know why I've moved? Because we live in an open plan sort of downstairs facility, which is all very nice and modern, isn't it? But when you've got a big family and they've just finished bedtime, bath time and bedtime and all that, and then they all come in, the dog comes in. Yeah. It's annoying, isn't it?
Look at that light.
No, it's so gorgeous.
What on earth?
It's like you're an angel man. Look at it.
Really? Do I look quite ethereal?
No.
Especially with the white top on as well.
I'm in a little box. I'm in the little box at the top, so I can't really see me. I'm just looking at your mugs, really.
So
just go that way a little bit. Keep
which
going.
way? That way?
You're right. You're right.
Other way.
Other
The other
way.
way.
Right,
The other way.
the way.
How's that?
Keep going. Keep going.
And now
keep
up
going.
a little bit.
Oh, where's the crystal?
Basically, we want you out of shot. Keep going. Keep going.
I can't see. Oh, I
there it
see.
is. Oh,
There you go.
What I want to know, Tam, is somebody in your household has obviously got a few quid. So
It's not me, mate.
Has your wife got a good job?
Not really.
I'm sure she'll love you for that.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you the truth though. No, well, she's a singing teacher.
Oh, is she?
You wouldn't know that, would
She
you, Lee,
didn't-
from
she
my
didn't
vocals
advise-
the other day?
She didn't advise you against the straw and glass reporter.
Mate, she encouraged me. I think.
I want to say she didn't reach into a
Looking
bag and
back-
pull one out and go, "You mean these?"
Well, listen, she's chiefly responsible for losing 1,500 quid, and I only say this because she's out of earshot. But it was her who put us onto this vocal warm-up technique, and it was brilliant, and it helped me for various roles that I've been in where I had to sing, and it really helped me. It opened up my my vocal, my throat, and my vocals were a lot clearer. So So I took it on and said, well, why isn't this an actual product? Why is everyone walking around with a knackered sort of Buxton water and a straw? Let's do something official. Let's paint it. Let's make it black and gold and call it Dr. Box.
So
Anyway,
then on a serious
still
note,
talking about this.
because now I'm more on board. On a serious note, why didn't it go further then?
Because I couldn't patent it because 40 other people had done it. But you have to pay someone for an initial search. Have you tried to paint anything, anyone, on this?
No.
Yeah. Well, it's a very complicated process, but it's also very expensive. So you have to pay someone. You can do your initial search, which is like a surface check, but then someone to look deeper, they charge you like a load of money for it, and then turn around to you. It's the best job in the world. Then turn around and say, yeah, sorry, computer says no. Yeah, 40 of the people got it. That's 1,500 quid, please, Squire. Imagine them doing it in some kind of Fagin voice.
Yeah, was it? I was going to say, was it Scrooge?
Yeah,
Was
it could have been, mate.
Scrooge?
But maybe the real thing is to get involved in that business. Because who's just that, you know?
In what business?
Yeah, you could be the patent business.
Yes.
The patent checkers.
Did all right for Einstein, didn't
He
it?
did his best work as a patent clerk.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Anyway, look.
Anyway, we're talking about a lot of patent.
We are, yeah. And quite frankly, I'm now getting bored. So
Yeah, it's boring, isn't it?
so
Sorry,
I've got
mate.
the songs. That's brilliant. Helen, what's the most coronavirus thing you've done?
It's really hard, that one, Lee, because I've just carried on as normal. So do you mean kind of during lockdown? And because 2020 has been moving house, watching 3 of my girls go off one's to Spain, 2 to uni, so there's only 3 of us. So 2020 has been such a huge year for me anyway, that it hasn't just been about the virus. Do you know what I mean? It hasn't just been that. So do you mean baking cakes and things like that? Or
Well, I
can't
think
bake cakes.
what I mean here, Helen, is don't spoil my game.
Go on. What do you mean, Lee? What do you mean?
What I mean is something. You're going to be awkward about it.
No, I'm
right?
not being awkward. What do you mean?
Something.
Yeah,
something,
get off my show, Lacey.
Something that you have done.
Chuck her
you
off,
have done
mate.
Oh.
because of coronavirus that you probably wouldn't have done.
Oh, you see, I've written my other book, and I don't know, but I would have done that anyway. What have I done, Lee, that I wouldn't have normally have done? Tam, I'm going to ask you, what would you have done that you wouldn't have normally done during this whole coronavirus thing? And I'll think about it.
Okay. Do you want another patent story?
Oh my God! Let's
I'm
go back to me
joking.
again.
Joking, mate.
Go on.
I'll tell you what we've done. We've done a succession of family videos.
Yes.
It sounds a bit crap, doesn't it? But it started off because we were really bad at homeschooling, and we were the kids were fast losing respect for us as parents and teachers, which is hard to take. So to energize a music lesson, I said, we'll make a music video. And then I got that Splice, that editing app. And then I got and I was bored, obviously. And so we did this. It got out of hand, effectively, and we spent about a week on it, and then we put it out, and then it kind of nearly went viral. It didn't go viral, but I don't know what qualifies going viral. But so then we got then we raised some money for the NHS, which is very unlike me to do anything for charity, but we did that. I'm very proud of it. And we did a potted Glastonbury on our front, because we live in a cul-de-sac. So it was kind of all right, and the neighbour's quite handy, and so he parked his van across the bottom and said, "No, we'll block the street off. We'll do what we want." So
That's amazing.
So we still socially distanced, So we pretended we got a bit drunk outside with all the neighbours, and we had a music festival.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've made it sound better than it actually was.
No.
But your videos were brilliant. You must watch them. Honestly, those YouTube things were fantastic. They were absolutely awesome. That's what I did then. I became a TikTok star. That's quite that's not really what I became. But Delphi is quite big on TikTok, one of my daughters, and she allowed me to star in some of her TikToks, and it became quite addictive. So that's what I did. What I wouldn't normally have done we kind of were planning different TikToks and lip syncing to different bits and doing all of that. I wouldn't normally have done that. I haven't done one since she left, but that was very much of the time of the first lockdown.
Great. See, that wasn't that difficult, was it?
All right, thank you, Lee.
Good.
I'll ask anything again now.
So, right. So, industry-wise, let's get this out of the way because I suspect this could get serious. Industry-wise, what are your hopes and fears?
Right, that's enough silence. I think I try and be optimistic about things because there's news of the vaccine and everything, so we've got to take that on. And I think looking through optimistic eyes, that there's a real thirst for. There is already, but there'll be a huge thirst next year for entertainment in any form. And I know that from we haven't talked about Elf, but we're doing a week's run of Elf this year, which has come very late. And when it went on general sale, the tickets were just phenomenal. And this is, they had to. I was speaking to the Michael Williams from the Winter Gardens, and he said they had to get 3 other staff members at the last minute just to cope with the volume of demand. So, if you look at that, people's wants and needs don't change. If anything, they're going to get more. So, I know obviously financially, and it's been crippling to theatres particularly. But if we can ride out the storm, if Rishi Sunak steps up a bit, because will he watch this?
Absolutely, he's
absolutely.
avid watching.
Yeah.
Sunak, pick it up. Then that's for you. That's directly for you. And if we get a bit more of a lifeline, I think, then it's supply and demand, and the demand will only increase. So that we need help with the supply line. And then I'm confident. I genuinely am confident, as well as perhaps optimistic. I mean, look, we've got to temper this optimism. This is the guy who's trying to invent storage pants. So, So maybe I'm not the best. I'm not the best guy for a measured response here.
You mentioned Elf. When is Elf going on again?
Thanks for mentioning that, Lee. Yeah, it's from the 18th to the 24th of December. It's a week's run in the Winter Gardens at Blackpool. So I got a home gig for the first time in forever. So I'm very pleased about that. Obviously, awkwardly, what we are doing with Virtual Shindig, it's we're going to get it to a place where someone else can just sort of sit in the hot seat. So my plans have changed somewhat for the week before Christmas. But I'm delighted to be involved in Elf again. I've done it the last 2 years where we've done arenas, which has been weird but good. So, but actually to get it back in the theatre now, I think will be great. Although it's seat of the pants stuff,
So just tell us about the show. Tell us what the crack is.
Well, obviously we'll be familiar with the film, I imagine everyone, and it's kind of when John Conway, who was formerly of Kudos, bought the staging rights to it, he wanted to change it from the sort of schmaltzy, what he called, I'm paraphrasing him, but the musical, and turn it into more filmic. So we've got screens at the back. It's a bit more comedic because I think the actual musical that toured, which was brilliant for fans of musical theatre, I think what was different with Elf is that the audience was comprised more of fans of the film who left somewhat, I hesitate to say disappointed, but I just think they went away going, oh, well, it was a really good musical, but it didn't quite meet their expectations in terms of, how it was presented. So he's kind of switched it around a bit and made it a bit, injected more comedy and more madcap sort of stuff in it. Whilst maintaining, I think, the integrity of the sort of original Broadway musical. So.
I was going to say, because a huge part, I think, of thinking of the film is that connection we have as an audience with Buddy, isn't it?
Yeah.
With him, and his journey through it and how much we love him. So I can understand that a musical might have taken some of that away, that connection, that love that you have for him.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it was quite ambitious as a project, really. But look, Broadway's Broadway, isn't it? And when it's devised over there, it can be a bit camp and a bit, I'm not going to. I don't want to offend anyone here, but it's very much in it. It was very much in its musical theatre genre, and I think what John's done, he's tried to sort of change it up and put, as I say, give it more reference to the film, and try and connect more with fans of the film, because it's an iconic performance, which was troubling me greatly a couple of years ago, and still does, because to try and sort of not do a pale imitation of Will Ferrell, which is a thankless task any actor or comedian or artist, then it's a challenge. So
how do you do the scale, with him being big, and how do you do that on stage?
What in terms of his character?
Yeah, because you're quite short, aren't you, Tam? That's what we're saying.
No.
Quite a short fella.
I'm short. Yeah.
Like all the big bits where Elf is big and everything else is little. How do you do all of that?
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry, yeah, you mean. I don't know. I thought you were talking all artistically. I heard you scale it up there. I heard you scale it. No, you're just talking about size, aren't you?
Yeah.
Size is important, Tam.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, what we have, or what we had, were kids doing the roles of dwarves, and we have a couple of actors on their knees.
That's the line I was wanting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and in fact, only the start of the film. So, once he moves to New York and follows his narrative there, it's only the first bit. So, and it helps greatly because we've got 3 big screens with some fantastic animation and some fantastic imagery on the back, which really helps sort of sets it apart from the musical, from what they've done with it. So it really gives it that sense of setting, and a real relation to the film.
Well, that's
so
been.
Come and see it.
That's now.
I was going to say, are there any tickets left? Because I'd really like us to all go when the girls get back. Are there any tickets?
Yeah,
there
are tickets
left. I will
look
tomorrow.
Socially distanced in the audience, but they can still. But the Winter Gardens is a vast old place, which is great news for staging anything in this environment and these circumstances. So I still think I think the count was, if they open the top, then they can get 800 in.
Fab. Right,
and still maintain social distancing. So, good news, eh?
Yeah, that's
very good
isn't it?
news. Yeah, we're as a fellow actor who isn't working, I'm absolutely delighted for you. Helen,
thank you for committing to
it. I'm sure it'd be great, and I hope they can genuinely hope they can open it up and get 800 people in. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It would, yeah. It's going to present challenges. But, I think everyone I've spoken to is incredibly hopeful and actually, well, as hopeful as you can be when the decision's not in your power. But everything's geared up to providing the best show we can in the circumstances, I think.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Helen, what are your thoughts on the industry?
I think they're very similar to Tam in that, if this whole vaccine thing hadn't happened, I think everything would have been a lot bleaker, because I think this would have gone on for another year or so. And then I think that would have been catastrophic, to be absolutely honest, on lots of counts. But I'm really hoping that if we do get this or versions of the vaccine rolled out, and we can start by kind of, next summer, getting back to some sort of normality, I am really hopeful that it will kind of rise again. But I do have that thing as well, that I think that as a human race, we can be quite forgetful sometimes. And I wonder whether that when things do get back to normal, say in 2 years' time, whether we will take any of the lessons we've learnt now, or whether we will just carry on as we were. And I really do hope we take some lessons from the last 6 to 9 months, because I think there's been an awful lot of stripping back in society and kind of just stopping for a bit, and I just hope it resets stuff a little bit, and I hope we don't forget. That was quite serious. Sorry.
Oh, it's good.
What was good?
I was waiting for Mike to come in because this is his field.
Come on, Mike.
Oh, he's watching West Wing.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Last episode.
He definitely is. No.
But yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right. I think that is my big fear, is that, and I've said this loads of times, is we do forget as a race. You know, like, it's only 6 months ago since, you know, there was all the protests with Black Lives Matter, and that's disappeared off social media. I mean, I still keep it on my social media, and I still keep it on the Ghostlight social, because that is a massive thing, which is vastly important. And what struck me, going back to the West Wing, is there is an episode in that where they talk about mandatory sentencing for crack cocaine, and this mandatory sentence is 5 years, and the disparity.
What, for taking it?
Yeah, just for having some on you.
Oh my God.
And the disparity is that at that point in America, 80% of drug users were white and 80% of crack users were black. Now, if you're a white person caught with, you know, enough cocaine to supply, at that point, you were given a $1,200 fine. Whereas if you were a black person caught with a tiny amount of crack, you were straight away 5 years in prison. And how that systematic racism was going on. This is from 21 years ago. And I kind of thought, if you were watching that on network TV in America, and you were, you know, this is 1999, year 2000, so it was the end of Clinton, the start of Bush, you were kind of quite hopeful about the direction in which America was going at that point. Imagine being in those same living rooms 21 years later, and it's the same conversations. And it is just an absolute kind of ironclad, as a race, we forget things so quickly.
I agree, Mike. And the problem is, as soon as you can have any profitability from incarceration, that is the main issue there that needs to be addressed. And it came in with Clinton, didn't it? Unless I'm mistaken. And hasn't really been tempered since, or hasn't changed. So, yeah, systemically, that's a huge problem, isn't it, in America?
Yeah, enormous.
Yeah.
It just goes.
Haven't we moved on from storage pants to systemic racism for profitability?
That's the joy of the Ghostlight Social.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
But also, I mean, it's a conversation for another time. But you know, reading the tweets that have been replied to the Sainsbury's advert today, just horrendous.
Man. Absolutely. I made a social media post about that today, which I've really got to stop. That's one thing that I have done this year. Going back to I've argued a lot more with strangers on social media, and I've really, to the point of distraction sometimes, the point of where I've been told off by my wife for ignoring her and the kids and everything. But it just gripes you, doesn't it? It just absolutely, some people's take on the world is just, and I feel like a moral obligation to say, no, that is completely, you're so off, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge believer in, liberal democracy and everything. But when people have it so wrong and just start reporting mistruths and opinion as fact, and that's a fine case of it right there with the Sainsbury's advert, who had the temerity to put an all-black family in their advert. Scandal in 2020, and just to even have thousands of complaints,
like the diversity dance, diversity.
Yeah.
What on
Do you know
earth is going on?
What I find quite interesting, actually, is, and again, we can't go down this rabbit hole necessarily, but I find myself becoming less angry about it and more sort of inquisitive, to the point of, what is it about it that makes people so afraid that they feel like they have to speak up and say something about it? About the fact that seeing an all-black family, what is it about somebody who I assume is white, sat there saying, I feel threatened? What is it about?
It's that whole thing. It's exceptionalism. So the white British working class have been brought up with grandparents or parents who fought in the war, and we have that exceptionalism that we were noble and we were brilliant, and that kind of bled down generation to generation, has lost what it meant for that generation, and has become this pompous crusader, St. George, knobheadish exceptionalism. That's, you know,
knobheadish is my favourite adjective of the night. I thought you were going to go with empirical, but you went with knobhead.
Knobheadish, yeah. See, that's
empirical was what he was looking for.
that's my academia. But I find it's that, and it's the kind of thing of it's not the fact that maybe the family is black. It's the fact that why isn't it white?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Do you know what's wrong with? Yeah,
exactly. That's
it's
exactly
fear.
what I mean. And this idea that there is something. Yeah, and this idea that there's something to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It all stems from fear.
And it's that fear of change. It's that fear of, this isn't the country of my grandparents. So it's like, well, the world isn't the country of your grandparents.
Yes.
You know, change happens all the time, and you cannot stop it. You can put up a dam,
but the funny thing is,
but it will build up the other side, and it will just break it.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, that is the world of their grandparents.
Yeah.
Because this is not a new thing.
But the thing is, the world of their grandparents, everybody had their own little bit of it, and nobody blended. That's kind of what the idea. That's the idea. Even though that's not technically true, that's the idea that everybody has.
Yeah. Look, I would honestly love to continue chatting about that, but we just haven't got time. So I'm gonna jump back to Tam, if that's all right. I'm gonna ask you, Tam, give us a favourite industry moment.
Well, there's only one really, which is the story that I tell when I was in pantomime in at Manchester Opera House. It makes me laugh thinking about it, in Peter Pan with David Hasselhoff, and he hadn't turned up for the first week of rehearsals because he was either slow motion running there or in fact he is David Hasselhoff, so he just chips up for the tech rehearsal. So initially I felt sorry for the guy who had to be David Hasselhoff, who was pretty much fresh out of drama school, and I was playing Smee to his Captain Hook, and he walked in the day before technical rehearsal, was really nice and over the top, and talked about himself in the third person, which is fine, you know. Certain people do that, but you kind of accepted it from him because he was Hasselhoff. And then I hadn't really had that much to do with him, and then we found ourselves in a tech rehearsal where they were obviously lighting, and there was a moment where I had to stand next to him, and it was a bit awkward, and so I thought, well, I've got to start a conversation. So he turned around to me and he said, "You're Tam, yeah, you're Tam." That's right. You're Hoff, you're Hasselhoff. I was quite nervous. Anyway, yeah. He says, "Tam, let me tell you. Do you know anybody who hires helicopters?" And I thought, it's not your average conversation starter, but he's gone in, and I just said no. And he said, right, my girlfriend is called Haley. She's 30. Here's a picture of her. And he got his phone out from he was in full, sort of half Captain Hook because we were in a tech. He had his jeans on. And he showed me a picture of his 30-year-old Welsh girlfriend. And you go, oh, she's nice. And then he said, it's her dad's birthday. I need a helicopter. I want to surprise her. I need to get a helicopter. And her dad's the same age as me. Her dad's the same age as me. And I went, and for some unbeknown reason, just because I'm a bit sometimes socially inept, I was trying to take the conversation forward, and I said to him, oh, right, so he's the same age as you. Was that not a bit awkward when you were first introduced? And then he sort of just did this slow head turn, and he went, awkward. I'm going to have to swear here, sorry.
Yeah.
He went, awkward. I'm fucking Knight Rider.
Did the music play then?
Oh, mate, he should have done. You know when you laugh that much, and you think, I really am gonna weep.
Yeah.
And I was just bent over laughing. And then he started laughing, and then we were brilliant from that moment on. But he proper meant it, you know.
Did he?
Like there was such kind of passion between through his eyes. So, but I had so much fun that particular show. But that is a moment I will never forget, because he was such a, as you can imagine, a larger than life character. But and you know, hugely. I mean, when you talk about him, he sounds like a bit of a knob, frankly, but he's just not a knob. He's just, because he does he'd do anything for anyone, but he's always on brand, and he'll talk about himself as the Hoff, but you kind of accept it from him. Anyone else would think, oh, really? But he means nothing by it. But I have a lot of time for him, and I've since worked with him again, actually, and he was integral in getting me the job. So I got a lot of time for him. But yeah, that was "I'm fucking Knight Rider" was such a great quote that he hit me with in a tech rehearsal.
So, and that's the thing, that if you told that story without David Hasselhoff and were like, guess the celebrity, you'd be like, that's David Hasselhoff. That just feels
obviously.
Well, aside from the Knight Rider thing, but if it were like, I'm fucking blah blah blah, you'd be like, that sounds like such a Hasselhoff thing to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He knows who he is, and he's very unapologetic about it. And I think that's anyone who's just so comfortable in themselves like that has my utmost respect. Yeah. So.
I bloody love the Knight Rider as well. I loved it.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. He'd just go to me. He went to me at the end of the run. He went, "Damn, how many kids you got?" He went, "Damn, how many kids you got?" And I went, "Well, 2." And he went, "Okay, here's my DVD of this. It's only a B movie, but they're gonna love that." And then just walked off with his DVD, and I went, "Thanks, David." And still in the cellophane, but you know, a big moment.
What film was it?
Mate, honestly, it was this thing I've never heard of, but it looked very low rent, frankly. I think it was towards the end, because he had a kind of renaissance, didn't he? Obviously, he had a bit in every era. He did Baywatch, then he did SpongeBob movie, then he did this hideous thing with 3D piranha fish, I think, and then it kind of went sort of, you know, down the Iceland commercial slope. But you know, I don't mean that to be disparaging or
that's exactly what
dick.
Yeah. That's exactly.
I'll tell you something though. We're coming up to the decade of David Hasselhoff doing King Lear. I think on his upturn. He needs an upturn.
Mate, he's done Chicago, you know, somehow, and he was still getting the bookings, and he's a crazy man. The last show I did with him, very briefly, sorry, I'm just turning this into David Hasselhoff half hour. He knackered his knee, and we start the second half in this in a parody to Baywatch, where he used to come out in the slow motion stuff, but he was limping. He was limping so badly though, he could barely stand. He nearly lost his leg, and this is true. He nearly lost his leg after a knee operation went wrong. He had corrective surgery, it all went wrong. And but he still did the show because he was like, "No, the public need the half." And you're like, "Mate, I'm not well, okay, but we're in Chorley. I'm not sure." But yeah, we came on and he did this. Some people stand in the darkness, but he was limping on like Kaiser Soze doing it, and the audience were just laughing for all the kind of wrong reasons because we hadn't got to the comedy section yet. Funny guy, man.
Brilliant.
Time for him.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Anyway, go on, Helen. Sorry, I've taken.
I can't beat a Hoff story in any way, shape, or form. I can't. Well, my very, very first job, so straight out of drama school, and there were lots of us sat at the Oldham Coliseum ready to be interviewed by Warren Hooper, I think it was at the time, and we're all there, and it was for Once a Catholic, and I can remember thinking, I have to get this, and I went in there wanting it. Anyway, I got it, I got the part. And it was just the best feeling ever. And you know, when you get that kind of, I've come out of drama school, got straight into a job, I'm the best thing ever. Obviously, that went up there somewhere because then I was pulled straight back down on the first. I think it was the first. I don't know. It's a bit hazy, but it was a very early show, so it was a preview show. But it was definitely a show. There were definitely people there that saw and witnessed this embarrassment. This stage, so it was one of the very, very first, and the lastminute.com, things hadn't been painted, things hadn't been done. Big carousel thing going on in the middle there where scenery was changed and chopped and all of that. I can remember them saying at the beginning, when the wall turns, just be really, really careful because the black paint is really wet still. It should have dried, but it hasn't, and it's really, really wet. So watch yourself when you turn. No problem. Yeah, one ear out the other. So literally the first turn went, the first scene went well, brilliant, we're all doing the stuff, and way, big claps, off we go. And I can remember that feeling, thinking, oh, I've absolutely made it. I'm at Oldham Coliseum. I'm literally, there's an audience there. I'm in this school uniform. I'm a character. This is the only way is up. I walked blackout, walked straight into the wall. I mean, not just like a little tiny touch or anything. I face planted the black wall. So I had literally black square brick marks all over my face and all over my white shirt and everything. Proper impressive. I could feel it on me. It was like sticking on me. And I knew that we were going round. I had to get my satchel, I had to get whatever it was, and those lights were going to come up. And I knew, because it was a really serious scene where we were being told off by nuns, and I knew what they were going to see.
Were you in any way tempted to do an Al Jolson? Or
well, that's the thing. When I went off, because I thought it will only be like a little bit, it would be shading. I was fully black. I planted. I mean, it really hurt. I really hurt my nose. I thought I'd broken my nose. I ran at the wall. It wasn't just that I literally ran it. I bounced off it and the whole thing went. So I was covered. So I turned, and I can remember this nun just sort of looking, just looking up at me. And she held her and she went down, and I could see for all of it and everything. And all of us were just holding and not breathing and not knowing what was going to happen. And she just turned and faced the back of the scene while she was shaking, properly shaking. And she just went, "That'll be all." And we went, "Oh, didn't do that any of the scene."
Nice.
Nothing. And the thing was, because it was paint and we were straight on again, the wet wipes I don't think had been invented. People were throwing wet towels at me. They were laying me to the ground, scrubbing me with scrubbing. And I literally went from black to a shade of darker black to grey. By the end I looked ill with greyness, but that was it. I couldn't get it off. And yeah, so it's a good lesson, I think, in when you think ha ha ha, and then you go no.
Well, this industry certainly has a way of kicking you in the arse. That is interesting, though, that you said that was at Oldham, because I swear that the blackouts in Oldham are the darkest of any theatre anywhere.
I never knew anything like it. We never had a blackout. You see, when we were doing all the rehearsals and everything, why we didn't have a proper blackout, I have no idea. I couldn't believe. I literally thought, well, this isn't. I've literally lost my sight because there's nothing. I can't. There's nothing. There's nothing.
I'm blind.
I'm blind. I lost all sense of direction, and then I knew I was going to be late, and ran completely the wrong way, and just went boom. But you're absolutely right, Lee. The blackest blackouts you've ever known. You could be down a mine.
Yeah.
I know.
And I wonder whether next time I'm going to ask, but I should have asked at the time. But I wonder whether it's something to do with the light bleeding through or the way that the proscenium is. I don't know, but they are very, very dark.
Never knew. I went on to do other bits, and I've never known a blackout like it. And I kept saying I couldn't see, and they were going, "There's a blackout." I know, but normally you can
still need to be able to see
something. Like, but we were the three of us, the three girls. We were like three blind mice every single evening. Whenever when that wall changed, we were just holding on to each other's satchels, trying to get back onto the stage again. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love a good blackout story. Love a good blackout story.
Many, aren't they?
Loads of them. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you do long tours as well. I mean, some of the stuff that happened on the Monty when in blackouts. Good God. I mean, people falling over each other. Just chaos. But yeah.
You get very silly on a long tour, don't you? It can become quite dangerous.
No, we didn't. We were
Did you
very,
not?
very,
Were you
very,
very
thankful,
professional?
yeah.
Just me then.
There's absolutely no stories I've been told about that that Full Monty's tour. I've never once. Lee's never mentioned anything that went on.
Right, okay, look, time is cracking on. So, couple of very quick fire questions for you. Tam, during lockdown 1 and potentially 2, what was your vice?
Vice, red wine.
Any particular type? Just full-bodied red.
Full-bodied, mate. Full-bodied.
New World Shiraz.
I joined 3 different wine clubs and two craft beer vendors as well, and worked the system. Apart from twice, I forgot to cancel the subscription, and that got messy. But so yeah, just drinking in general. Honestly, it's terrible. I mean, I know that's a bit cliche again, but woof, we've drunk a lot more. I say we, moral support from the missus as well. So that's an honest answer. And what else can I say? Crap TV, probably crap TV. Just watching really crap TV, and you're still watching. You think, wow, that was crap.
Yeah,
and I'm still watching it.
Still watching crap. And then watch some more crap. I've been watching a bit of crap TV and.
What kind of crap? Tell me the crap you've been watching.
Oh, I've been watching. I watched the Tiger King, and.
Yeah, we watched that.
So crap, but it's so you feel dirty afterwards. You think, oh, these people are crap. Everything around is crap.
Yeah,
it's the essence of crap. But I watched it all, probably in about 3 nights. Then just had a long bath.
Yeah.
Just absolve myself. I've been watching.
Lee. Sorry to jump on the whole, but alcohol. So gin and tonic with my girls when the girls were home. See, Peter doesn't drink, but literally it could become 2:30 in the afternoon, and we get that kind of, shall we?
As well.
And the glasses come out, and then the range of gins come out, and you're kind of rubbing our hands, and and that kind of giddy feeling where you're not on holiday. You're definitely not on holiday.
Not bad.
Yeah, but you get that feeling of like, it's all right, here's my girls, here's my family, we're having a little G&T, and we're about to watch an early episode of Desperate Housewives. It's not too bad, is it?
That sounds all right to me. I didn't realise that, and I don't know why I didn't know this, but I didn't realise Peter didn't drink. Does he not drink at all?
He has the odd gin and tonic, or he has the odd vodka and tonic.
I need to ask him how on earth he lives in a house full of women and doesn't drink.
Yeah, I know. You'd think we would have turned him. Yeah. No, he likes cake. He likes his food. He's a real kind of, he'll go away and come back with his mouth full like a hamster. And he's literally just gone to get us a drink of water or something, and he'll come back and go, and he's literally got just a whole a cake in his mouth or something. So he's listening now, probably in the front room. But this is
he has dropped in the chat and just about the virtual shindig, which we haven't mentioned.
We're going to talk about that in a minute.
We haven't even mentioned it, have we?
Yeah, move on from Peter not drinking and eating lots of cake.
Fair enough. Yeah, alcohol is the main way. Toilet rolls. What was the maximum number of toilet rolls you had in the house?
We ran out at one point because we weren't doing the hoarding thing, and that all became. It was only for a day. There was nothing dramatic going on, but it was a day when there were 6 of us in the house, and it all became inventive.
Okay.
I'm with you. We ran out as well. We had a serious situation with that because we ran out of toilet roll, and then we ran out of kitchen roll.
Yeah.
And then you're looking around, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going, whoa.
That's when you need Tupperware pants.
That is.
Well, we were looking. I considered all sorts of options. I was looking at a float that Barney used for swimming. I thought that could be quite absorbent.
No, that's too slidey.
Assign everybody a flannel.
It's a flannel.
And say no more.
It's a flannel or it's a tea towel. It's
Yeah.
you know.
I was considering Lego just to teach me a lesson. So almost cathartic about it. But so we had that. But I'd go for a double quilted Andrex. Was that the question? I can't remember what the question was. Was it preference of toilet roll?
Yeah. How many toilet rolls you had in the house at the?
How many we had? Yeah. Well, after the desperate situation where we'd run out completely, I think we made sure we'd never make that mistake again. So, so I reckon we've probably had up to 24, between 24 and 36.
Hang on.
Nice, isn't it?
Between 24 and 36.
Yeah. Well, you've got to have a leeway, haven't you? It's like betting on a roulette.
A hell of a leeway, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So,
well, mate, I don't know about your
29.
toilet habits, but it depends what.
Talking about
going
toilet
on.
habits, and if Peter's listening right now, he's in the front room, but the dog, the puppy, he doesn't want to come through because the puppy needs a wee. So the puppy's like, really whining, and I'm trying to text and still look like I'm interested in what Tam's saying, but that's difficult anyway. So I'm trying to do that.
Wow,
Peter,
that was
guys.
I can bring him through.
Fine.
Nasty Helen.
Please
Nasty
bring Poppy
Helen.
through. And
just while that's happening, I'll just talk about Andrex. I've been getting all my shopping from the Asda Click and Collect.
Right.
And we always put on 24 Asda Zone toilet roll because it's toilet roll, isn't it?
Cheaper, isn't it?
I'm not spending on triple ply, just to wipe your ass on it. But they do this wonderful thing where if it's not in stock, they give you the brand. So the last couple of times we've been coming home with 24 Andrex triple ply velvety stuff for like the same price as Asda's.
And what's your feeling on that then?
I actually prefer Asda Zone. I think there's too much substance on the Andrex triple ply stuff. It feels it's a bit too stiff.
Interesting.
Do you remember at school? Did you go to a school where you had the grease paper?
Oh yeah,
Grease paper,
and it would halfway between your shoulder blades.
That was a smearer.
The smearer, yeah, absolutely. But being a man who's had fairly recent rectal surgery, certainly in the last 4 years.
Okay.
I'm so glad you dropped that in.
Okay.
Because I was hoping we'd get round to it.
Is that anything to do with Hasselhoff, or is it a different story altogether?
No, it was to do with an audition, but
okay.
It was.
Did you get the job?
No, hey, it wasn't. It was just
help.
an easy joke. No, but my wife's just come in just as I've been talking about rectal surgery. That's a bit awkward. I'm just talking about my rectal surgery.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Just normal conversation with you.
Yeah. So, but ever since those times, I've always spent a bit more on toilet paper.
Yeah, a bit softer.
So this is the bit that your wife walked in on. That bit.
And actually I said, sorry, Louise, you'll have to put the kids to bed. I'm going to promote virtual shindig.
And that's what we're talking about.
At this point, she's walked in to get a folder, and I've said that. So that's going to be an interesting conversation later.
I'd say so.
How much did you pay her?
I thought you were going to talk. I thought you were going to ask questions about the rectal surgery. Then
hang on, whoa!
I'm suggesting. I'm
Suggesting
suggesting that from the brief glimpse we got of your wife, that you're punching massively.
Oh wow! Okay, thanks, Mike. He's gone straight in. Well, listen. Good.
Have you heard his Hasselhoff story? That's why.
Oh yeah.
That's first date fodder, mate. That's first date fodder. She's putty in the hands after a bit of.
And then he said,
thinking he might get me to meet Daisy Hasselhoff.
No, yeah, no. In fairness, I think I am punching a little bit. So yeah, she's a good girl, and that's nice
there you go. To acknowledge that you are punching a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, let's not get carried away with it.
I mean, you are a charming man.
I didn't always look like this.
Really?
I would say that there is a little bit of Duncan from Blue about you tonight.
Stage lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just need to stand up for the key change.
Now look, let's talk about virtual shindig, because I have to say, I've been editing today, and when we filmed last week honestly, I have to apologise first of all because I was so unbelievably unprofessional. There was a scene that Tam was doing, and I could not control myself.
Which one was it in particular?
It was the talking head of
Ian Spatchcock.
Simple Simon. Actually, to be fair, the take that I've used is the one where I had to leave the room and they did it, and I don't think it's the best one. So
do you know what?
It's not.
It's not, Lee. I was a lot stronger earlier on.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But talking about weeing yourself, I nearly weed and shat myself.
I love those times though. I love it when you're so out of control and you can't stop yourself, and you know it's really naughty, but you cannot stop giggling. I absolutely love those times.
It was a good filming day, though. I mean, it was. I mean, we always knew it was optimistic and chaotic for the schedule and the volume of stuff we had, the shots we had to get done. In fairness, Lee, not licking your ass or anything, but you were very important to that day, really, to Marshall, Marvin,
did he keep
and
some
I.
structure?
Having said that, I am generally the one that does that. But then when Mike walked in, because Mike got there slightly after us, straight on it, wasn't he? He was like,
sorry, yeah, Mike, I do you a disservice as well. I really mean both of you, because you know what we're like. We just get a bit carried away, and we're all a bit like, oh, are we funny, or are we look at us doing all of this? And we need someone just to sort of crack the whip and go, yeah, look, dickheads, we have got 8 shots to get, and the cameras aren't in the right positions. So let's not evaluate how good or bad you are at things. Let's just crack it on. We did need that influence.
The best thing is obviously the Zoom meeting, the production meeting beforehand, I couldn't attend, so I didn't know. I was going in blind. And so I kept saying, like, what's next? And every single time, every one of them was like, I don't know. Don't know. And so I knew nothing and was still having to go, well, let's do this then.
You knew nothing, but you still knew more than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I just kept being told, we've got loads. There's loads to do.
Well,
tell me one of them.
But we got
Say one of the things that we have to do.
Him always wanting the detail. Relax.
Tell us about Virtual Shindig.
Yeah, Tam, come on.
Oh no, Helen, listen, the radios we've done, you're like velvet on the radio. You're much better at pitching than me. I turn off into a waffly mess. Talk about storage pants.
I get giggly when they start talking to you, and then you start using the DJ's name. I don't know why, but it makes me giggle.
Well, Simon.
Well, Simon,
I work with your niece, you know. I worked with her and LaRue in '84. Remember? Wonderful times. No dog, no daddy. Thank you. Next.
It was such a. What's it called? What's it called? A moment. Sorry, I'm getting tired now. What's it called? The radio presenter that does everything. Oh, come on! Peter will shout it out.
What's that question? The radio presenter that does everything?
Yeah, sorry. You see, that wasn't even a question.
Are you just saying a load of words?
No, I was saying a load of words. Who's the funny comedian that does a DJ?
Partridge.
Thank you very much. There was a Partridge moment where you did go in and you was like, I've worked with your niece, and he went, oh, Karen, and he went, no, Louise. Oh.
Whoops.
I'm like,
yeah, no, the one that's been disowned. You remember? No, the one who turned into a crack addict.
One.
Do you remember her, Simon?
He moved right on, didn't he? But I was have to just go pinch.
It was funny that. And it was Radio Somerset, and we told the story about that because I thought that we were on Radio 5 Live, because I was taking the dog for a walk and I was going past some building work that was going on across the way, right? And someone was having the bricks pointed and everything. And just as I got a phone call in my headphones, and I heard a really posh RP voice, 5 Live. Producer, 5 Live. And I thought, oh yeah, brilliant. It was pricked up. I got past the noise and then said, would you like to go on the 10:15 slot Monday morning? And I suddenly thought, 5 Live, 10:15.
Emma
Emma Barnett's show.
Woo!
Virtual Shindig.
Check
Yes,
out.
I do. So I reacted with far too much enthusiasm. So I'm like, amazing! Oh no, this is so great, because I'm also in Elf, and I'm telling her that I'm in Elf in the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. This will be brilliant. This will be great. I'll be able to sell that. I'll sell that. I'm so humbled to be asked to be on at 10:15 on Monday morning. And she's like, okay, yeah, we'll send an email. So turns out that the bit I missed, it was Radio Somerset.
They'd heard us on 5 Live at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. So I've like reacted really over the top to go on to promote a show in Blackpool from a base of Taunton, 359 miles away. So what a dickhead. But it was funny, man.
We love you.
Ever since on the WhatsApp group, Helen's been merciless, haven't you? You've been like, oh, have Radio Dudley got not been involved yet?
I can't believe Radio Dudley have called.
Radio Land's End got in touch yet, Tom? All right.
There's a lot of mileage. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
come on, though. You've not told us anything about Virtual
Oh, yeah,
Shindig.
go on, Helen. Sorry. Yeah,
We haven't. So Virtual Shindig is basically Christmas parties for businesses. So about 6 weeks ago, I remember listening to the radio and hearing that everything was cancelled, and also that all the theatres were cancelled, and nothing else was, everything's cancelled basically. And I remember thinking, okay, so if we tie that, there'd be actual talent available at the moment that isn't normally, and maybe we could tie the two in with putting on some sort of extravaganza for businesses. So that was the premise of the idea. And I remember saying it to Peter, and straight away, actually, he kind of went, oh, yeah, no, that's there might be mileage in that. And then we kind of, how things kind of settle, they just settle for a bit. And then we sort of kept coming back to it, and we kept coming back with ideas and batting things backwards and forwards and having really good fun with the concept of it. And we couldn't let it lie, as they say, but we kept going with it. And then we just decided, no, let's see if there was going to be any interest in this, and let's see. So we got Marvin Dickinson, who's absolutely fantastic, but we never get anything done when we have meetings because he's too funny, and Tam as well, who's just, they're just both got funny bones, and they'll be hosting it.
I don't make funny bones.
but they are joking aside, a tonic to work with. So they are going to be the hosts of it, and we are basically going to do a virtual party Zoom for businesses, and kind of tailor it to each business that we work with. So we will get senior leaders in on things. We've got some celebrity video appearances. We've got kind of a bingo with a difference. So there's lots of things that they're going to be doing that hopefully won't seem like your typical Zoom, and will be a heck of a lot of fun with connecting these teams that have had a really hard year along the way. So that's what we're doing.
From what I've seen so far, it will not be like a typical Zoom.
No.
not hopefully.
No.
It definitely won't be.
Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. But that's the point, isn't it? I suppose it's got to have a USP. It's got to be different, hasn't it? Because otherwise they'll turn around and go, well, we could have done that, couldn't
Exactly.
we? So it's got to be bespoke, and it's got to be for them. And we've got to... And Marvin made the actual salient point about it, as hard as that is to believe. That when he, as a comedian, when he does corporate gigs, it's that you can have the best material in the world, but it won't match up to the stuff that's taking the piss out of them, or that's about them. So it doesn't matter what you do, but the more we make it about the personalities within the company, that's what's going to make it really go. And like you say, Helen, the fact that there's been a lack of communication and connectivity this year, and at Christmas time, and if all the stars kind of align, I think it's I did think it was a great idea at the start, but now I did have my worries about it. I
think we all did. Honestly, Tom, I think we all did.
You'll have had more because it's your brainchild, isn't it? And it's your you're stumping it up. So, but now I've seen it sort of the sort of how it's going to knit together a bit more. I think it's going to be really good, and I hope. I shouldn't say that with so much surprise. Sorry,
could be the tagline.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
don't oversell it.
This is why I'm never invited on the marketing team of anything. I think it might be all right.
I think it's all right.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. It's not bad.
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah, better than average.
Yeah, but you're going to have a little bit of a trial, aren't you, for a birthday party this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday, which is a bit worrying.
It is worrying, but I think in a scary sort of way, when you kind of have to go, right, we're on, and let's see what there is. I just think that's the best way of doing it.
Friends as well, because they're a bit more, receptive to it, and also afterwards they'll tell me the truth. They'll tell me the absolute truth.
Good.
They'll say, look, that didn't work. What was that about?
Yeah.
Well, so it's a really honest way to road test stuff, isn't it?
Definitely.
And the technology.
And also, there's a rapping Chris Whitty, isn't there?
There's a rapping Chris Whitty.
There's a rapping.
I am still terrified by that.
Yeah.
It is
a
quite
terrifying
nightmare,
character.
Yeah.
He is quite scary.
Yeah,
I must admit, I did show my 11-year-old daughter and her face at the end of it.
You can't sleep.
Yeah, there was one of what have I just seen? It was really funny. Whereas I just thought it was fabulous.
I was showing my 15-year-old today the Last Christmas. And he was just because he came in because I was putting it together and I was just laughing. And he said, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "What's this?" And he just went, "What's that?"
Yeah, I know. It's weird. Isn't it weird how they don't laugh at certain things, but they'll laugh, other stuff, like the football thing, showing Katie that she found that hysterical that he couldn't say, Sheffield United and all of that. But some of the stuff that I've shown to do with Shindig, literally exactly the same.
Yeah.
You go, okay, this isn't for you.
Yeah, I think you have to be over 15.
Yeah.
But most CEOs are, I think, aren't they?
I hope so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Doogie Howser was quite young, wasn't he? He wasn't really a CEO, but he was.
Yeah, but no.
He hasn't booked yet.
No.
I think there's only ever the over 15s who'll get that reference as well.
Yeah.
But the Doogie Howser reference, I used to love Doogie.
I mean, if you say Neil Patrick Harris, they'll go, "Oh yeah, that dude, Doogie Howser."
Yeah.
No.
Good. Okay, so you've got a trial on Saturday, and then it's all steam ahead after that.
Mm.
We're gone quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And the bookings are coming in, and there are lots of inquiries, and literally the website went live last week, and the mail out went out last week, and straight away it was just email after email, which was really thrilling, really, really thrilling.
That's good. That's good.
I mean, it is. Look, joking aside, it's only because we're
we've got to.
It is a really good concept, and it is, and I think Marvin and I are genuinely looking forward to it. We had a conversation earlier this afternoon about it, and we both felt quite comfortable with the way things were headed into presenting, and I think we're just gonna have fun. I think
you are. I think
it's
gonna. Yeah.
The worry is that we've just got to be kept in check a little bit because we're like little children. We're like children.
Yeah.
We are, and I don't want to ruin it. And we won't. But we use the studio. I said with the studio we're going to do it. I said we call it the studio. It's a bit middle class. It's just a sort of an outbuilding at the back of our garden. But we use that for Marvin and I to do our podcasting, which is a different thing to this. So we just need to remember what project we're doing is all I'm saying. Do you know what I mean?
What's the podcast?
Oh, don't listen to that.
Yeah, go on, plug it.
Go on.
All right, it's Dystopian Hot Dog, it's called. It's a very irreverent look at the world. There's a lot of references to all sorts of naughty stuff. So there's very few boundaries really in it, but it's very fun. I daren't promote it more.
Okay. All right.
It's very
Check
adult.
it out, though. It's good. We have great time.
What about the Panto podcast? What's that?
The Panto podcast?
Yeah.
It's a different. I'm not involved with that.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I've guested on it, but
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah, it's a guy called Hayden Parker who just interviews load of prolific panto people. It's good though.
And you got on it.
Yeah, I was like, like take a friend to school day.
Oh.
Get Tam Ryan on it.
Good. Well, look.
Whatever.
Look, best of luck with Shindig, and I'm sure it'll be brilliant because all the stuff that I've seen and been involved with has been fantastic. So, yes, and the girls that came along on, I say the girls, the
professional actors.
Yeah.
Well,
you
know what? I text Katie today after I saw the comic, the Ian Spatchcock thing, because she so made that.
Yeah.
Her dryness was next level.
It's exactly what it was needed.
What in the delivery?
Yeah.
The delivery scene, brilliant.
The delivery scene, she was so good.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have worked had she not.
It had to be underplayed. She did it brilliantly.
She was brilliant. She absolutely, So she, I text her not in a patronising way. Hey, you did really well.
Well done.
Really well.
Yeah, keep at it.
No, they were both fantastic. They were both fantastic.
Really embraced
as
it.
was everyone. It's 9:30.
Is it?
9:30.
Pyjamas time.
Go, haven't we?
Tam, you've been talking shit for an hour and a half now.
Mate, that's what I do.
Every Zoom meeting we have is literally. I'd say 15 minutes worth of shite, and then 10 minutes we kind of get something done.
And actually, I've got to do some more work tonight. I've got to do some more writing tonight.
Yes, please.
Which reminds me, actually, so with Shindig, there's also a charity element, isn't there?
There is. So £50 from every booking goes to the fundraising group 500 Acts of Kindness, which was set up by Julie Hesmond-Halge. So hopefully we get lots of bookings and we can bump it up a bit as well. So we started at that thinking, let's just see if we can get any bookings at all and cover our cost. But now that hopefully the bookings will come in, we can hopefully up that a bit. But it is an absolutely awesome charity. So you just give a little bit each month, and there are loads and loads of members. So each week £500 is given to a just cause, and it ranges from asylum seekers to somebody that needs money for a funeral to all very sad sort of cases, but an incredible charity that helps on a weekly basis lots of needy people. So yes, we're going to be doing that as well.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
We've got some really good. Well, I think we've got some really good little celeb videos as well, and that's thanks to Sam.
Well, yeah. Well,
we have.
That's Hoff done one.
I know.
Mate, I sent the email.
Oh, did you?
I'm going to say, we've lost touch a bit. Do you know if this would happen?
Because you've not watched his DVD.
Say we, like it's, I've moved on. But if this had happened 4 years ago, then
we'd have had him, wouldn't we?
We were like, we were.
Yeah.
He was my man. He was my main man. me and him ran Wetherspoons.
So actually, did you take him to Wetherspoons?
I did once actually, yeah. Oh mate, I took Hoff to Wetherspoons. I've taken Louis Spence to Nando's.
Is that it then? Was that it? Just two?
There's a podcast in that, taking celebrities to weird eateries.
Yeah. Chains.
Yeah.
But both have a.
Greg's.
Yeah.
Greg's. Who would you take to Greg's?
I took Suzanne Shaw to Greg's, but I mean, not an exclusive list. I'm just saying, anyone else wants to go to Greg's with me, then.
You can go to Greg's on your own. You don't need to take a celebrity with you.
No, you have to go with me, mate.
No.
Yeah, various people have got involved. Should we name some celebs or not?
Yeah, drop it. I want to know.
All right. Well, we've got.
Who's my very, very favourite that will never take any beating?
Oh well, that's the one that you organised.
No, it isn't.
Oh, you mean Stephen Hall?
Stephen Hall.
He's the one who doesn't really qualify though, because judging by the quizzical looks on Lee and Mike's faces, going, Stephen Hall.
Stephen Hall.
Yeah, the De Niro of the UK.
Britain's Got Talent. What year was it?
2011. But
2011.
check him out on YouTube.
Check
Okay.
out Stephen
We've
Hall.
got, who else we got? John Thompson of Cold Feet fame and Fast
Yeah.
Show fame. We've
Yeah.
got Martine McCutcheon. We've got
Claire
who
Sweeney.
else? Claire Sweeney. She's got very funny questions, isn't she? Very
She
funny.
has. She's a little minx, isn't she?
Isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Who else did we get? Who else?
Come on, who else did we get? Who was the one that looked like they did it sat on the loo? Here comes my cat again.
Warren Donnelly from Shameless. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got. And, although I've just given away the answer now, so if you are,
and we've got
you're 1 point up.
somebody that's the son of two people.
Yeah, someone who's the we can't tell you who that is. Otherwise
No.
Things.
That's half the population of the planet.
I know. We've narrowed it down for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably more than half the population of the planet.
Yeah.
It's-
We've
it's
got
50.
Sean Williamson done a really.
Sure.
lovely-
Oh, he did a
such a
fantastic
lovely
one.
guy. Yeah, Barry from EastEnders.
He did a brilliant one. He was plugging his book, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And that was good. Yeah, we've got a few.
Yeah. So
But-
yeah, it gives it a bit more credibility, doesn't it? So.
Uh,
I mean, like people who are still on telly as well.
You've got to have a celeb in to give it credibility, haven't you? You know, you've got to have.
2020.
And we've got for the very end where hasn't come through yet, but she has said yes, Maxine Peake.
Oh,
Nice.
lovely man.
Hey, lovely Maxine.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll just play a load of YouTube vids, their vids, and the videos, and just you two top and tail it.
Yeah. Although we do need the facts about Paraguay are going to be paramount to the success.
Paramount to Paraguay questions, yes. You are.
And if there's anybody out there that can think of any words that rhyme with Paraguay, that would be really helpful as well.
Yeah, thank
That'd be
you.
really
And prominent lyricists out there, help me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Mike needs to go and watch the last episode of West Wing now. I can see it.
And I was hoping to get the last episode in and the first episode of season 2 tonight.
Do it.
Sorry,
Just
man.
do it.
Sorry for keeping you, Mike.
Yeah.
It's all right. I enjoy this.
Just do it, yeah. Because I need a wee now as well, so we're off.
What number episode is this, Lee?
39.
39.
Lucky for some.
I thought we were at nearly 50.
No, not yet. Not yet. It's because I've taken my eye off the ball, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Listen, both of you, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll say I'll see you soon, but I've no doubt talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Definitely speak to you tomorrow.
What's the cat called? Who's this?
This she's gone now. That was Elsie.
That's
Yeah,
Elsie.
that was Elsie. Just came to say hello, and that was Peggy Poppy that jumped up onto my lap after going out for a wee. And it's all go here. It's all go. And about to join Peter, and we're about to watch a final Schitt's Creek, the very last
Excellent.
one.
Ah.
So
Oh,
happy days. I know. It's Ace. You've got to watch it, Tam. Sorry, we could have ended there. That would have been good. You've got to watch it.
When I'm less busy and less writing.
Yeah.
But I've got to write for you in a minute.
Yeah, don't do it now. Get back to your writing. Don't watch anything.
Well, you need to, Tam. You need to earn some more money anyway to keep you in electricity with all those massive lights that you've got going on in your house.
Unbelievable.
I know. Yeah, I didn't really know until you've all highlighted it.
Well, you are in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. When in Blackpool. That's what they say. That's one of the ancient proverbs. I think it is in the Bible. When in Blackpool, illuminate your bedroom.
You've illuminated your bedroom. Mike is he's got some sort of Amsterdam audition technique going on there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you both very, very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
See you soon.
Thanks,
Lots of love to family, etc., etc. And
Speak tomorrow.
he's probably speak tomorrow. See you later.
Bye,
See you
Paul.
later.
Bye.
See you. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, Mike, that was nice.
Yeah. It's always fun, isn't it, when you can have a laugh.
Yeah. And very happy. Tam's come back. Right.
I just went, so I thought that's the end, and it is the end, isn't it? But,
yeah. We're just wrapping the show up. Helen's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Debrief, right? So do you want me to go?
It's up to you, mate.
No, when you said Helen's gone, so you might as well fuck off as well. That was kind of the stuff that I read in brackets.
Yeah, there is an element of that.
Okay, I'm going.
See you later.
All right.
See ya.
Boys, enjoyed it.
Bye.
Mate.
An hour and 46 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. I mean,
Oh.
we are trying to make up for the fact we haven't been on air for like.
I know,
a
that
month.
is true.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
And what
All I
a show
keep-
to come back with, though.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
All I keep thinking, as the time goes up, I keep thinking, I've got that to edit at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, listen, I'm going to do. I don't know what's happening next week, but I am working less at the moment, so there is a little bit more time.
Sweet.
So I'm going to try and sort out another episode for next week. We definitely need to get to 50 before this fizzles out.
Yeah.
And hopefully go out with a bang. Well, no, I don't want to go out at all, but a bang at 50 anyway.
Yeah. 50 would be a nice one to get Maxine Peake on.
Yeah, I need to, like Tam was sending an email to Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
I will send an email to Maxine, see if she's up for it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, right. Speak to you later.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you tried to watch us on Twitter, the Totally Reels account has been suspended for some reason. I don't know. So
Has it?
it was live on my at Mike Makes Films at that.
It's been suspended.
Yeah, I just tried to flick onto it and it went, your account's suspended. And I was like, because neither of us tweet from it anyway, so
What's it suspended for?
I don't know.
Oh, that's done me head in. Right. Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
We might have been hacked. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Suspended. Right, yeah.
don't forget like and subscribe. Thank you to our usual crowd who all showed up. There was Sarah and Dale and Claire all came along, which is always nice to see. I always like to see everybody in the chat saying hello. We'll let you know what's happening next week. We have run out of old episodes to put up.
We can't possibly have done.
Well, I haven't got any.
Oh, right.
I have got like episode 2, but I put episode 1 back up, and it just looks shit, doesn't it? I mean,
Right.
as much as because early on we had some good guests, and it was a little bit more fraught, I think, so, and that's quite entertaining. Do you know what I mean? Because we were still finding his feet, so it's a shame to not have those available, but they do look shit. So
Okay, fair enough.
up
We'll have a
until
look through.
I mean, I think episode 3. I don't know if we put episode 3 back up. That was Natasha.
Yeah. And Tom.
And Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who,
Yeah.
What was his line in his Twitter bio? I know we're rattling on now, but it was like
Not that one.
or was it something like I've not heard of you
Something like-
either?
Yeah, I've not heard of you
Yeah,
either. That's
I liked
it.
that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Very
good.
Yeah. See you later.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.